Hello my lovely and wonderful friends, and welcome to the first episode of a brand new series. You see, some of my videos have been marked as not suitable for most advertisers because they contain violence, shooty bang bangs and such. And to redeem myself and show you that I am indeed sorry for making you watch, videos that have shooty bang bangs in them, I decided to start a brand new series where we read codex entries while meditating on Earth. No violence, no shooty bang bangs, just reading codex entries while meditating on Earth. Let's have some fun, friends. Shall we? Today, we're going to be talking about Alad V. Alad V was the head of the Grenier Relations and reported directly to the board of directors. In spite of his position, Alad V showed a particular contempt towards the Grenier and to a lesser extent, the Tenno. Over the course of his career, Alad would develop an obsession with the Tenno and the Infested, believing that he could harness their power for his own benefit. During one set of negotiations, the Twin Queens demanded that Alad reduce the price of some materials after several stockpiles were discovered, threatening to unleash a Fomorian-class supership if he refused. Alad decided to call their bluff, unaware that these Fomorian ships did exist. When he realized his mistake, he turned to the Tenno for assistance. Although the Lotus didn't want any part in the conflict, the threat of Grenier power expanding convinced her to reconsider Alad's plea. This resulted in Operation Slingstone, where the Tenno would sabotage the Fomorians' reactor by corrupting them with infested material, and eventually, the last one of these ships fell and the Grenier withdrew, although Alad dispatched scouts to Pluto in response to rumors of surviving ships. Ultimately, the Queens agreed to Alad's initial contract but decided to pay more than what he asked for in exchange for his assistance. The Grenier had several unknown settlements that they wanted to hide from the Tenno. Knowing that the Tenno are aware of their methods via their capture missions, Alad decided to send his scouts and navigators to the Void, in hopes of hiding the information as soon as he could. Despite this, the Lotus discovered his covert operations and sent the Tenno to hunt down his scouts, and despite Alad's best effort, the Tenno recovered the information and were able to find the planet and the location of the settlements. Later on, Alad would focus his resources on the Zanuka project after discovering a cache of unawakened Tenno near Sedna. Upon hearing this, Sargas Rook ordered Alad to hand the crate over to the Grenier on the grounds that they were found in Grenier territory. Alad responded by setting up a defensive force on Mars in order to repel the offensive. Enraged, Rook demanded that all Corpus territory would be handed over to the Grenier, or else there would be swift consequences. This information was picked up by the Lotus, who was unwilling to sway the Tenno towards either side. Instead, she left the Tenno with two options: support the Grenier to rescue the sleeping Tenno at the cost of Grenier gaining more control, or support the Corpus to drive off the Grenier, sacrificing their fellow Tenno in the process, and the ensuing conflict would later be known as the Gradivia's Dilemma. After several skirmishes, the board of directors decided to stop bankrolling Alad due to the resources that were lost during the Dilemma, resulting in a Grenier victory. The board also stopped the funding of the Zanuka project, forcing Alad to continue his project without their assistance, which led to him setting up research facilities on Jupiter. Following the Dilemma, the Tenno discovered that Alad had a captured warframe he was experimenting on as a part of the project. Alad's former colleague, Frod Beck, was tracking him down in response to the massive debts he accrued due to the Dilemma. In response, Alad diverted the Infested to Frod's ship, overwhelming them in the process and slowing down Frod's progress. Frod Beck decided to cut a deal with the Tenno, eliminate the Infested from his ship so that both of them can locate Alad. Despite Lotus's initial distrust, she ultimately agreed to Frod's term, and the ensuing manhunt ultimately uncovered Alad's location. Although he was able to construct a working Zanuka prototype by the time he was found, the Tenno defeated him and rescued the warframe under his clutches. Despite this, Alad continues to work on his project and occasionally sends out a Zanuka hunter to search for more donors. After a long period of inactivity, the Lotus discovered several Corpus ships that were traveling well outside the usual shipping routes. These ships were heavily armored and used several measures to keep themselves hidden from prying eyes. Suspicious about their purpose, Lotus sent the Tenno to investigate the ships and their mysterious cargo. The Tenno discovered that many of these ships contained samples of infested tissue, heavily guarded by Corpus platoons, though some of these ships have suffered containment breaches and have been overrun with the infested. Alat contacts the Tenno during their investigations, explaining that he disagrees with the Corpus ban on infested biotechnology and has decided to focus his resources on the forbidden line of research. And that's all for today's episode of Reading Codex Entries while Meditating on Earth. Tune in next time to find out about the Operation Breeding Grounds, Mutalis Incursions, Patient Zero, or even the Tubemen of Regor. I thank you very much for watching as always, and don't forget, violence and shooty bang bangs are bad. Even if it's just in a video game that's not real, it's real, okay, and bad. Because, well,